Hello, everybody. Welcome to the MTG Place podcast, your place for all things magic. With today's Josh. How's it going, Josh?
What's up, everybody?
Before we jump into it here, this show is sponsored by Ironguard Supplies. We love their sleeves, top loaders, and accessories. Get
Yeah,
20% off at ironguardsupplies.com. You can put code MTG Place.
code MTG Place. Today we'll be talking about the white rares of the Duskmourn set, giving you our thoughts on the card design, where it lies within the Magic ecosystem. We'll be judging these mostly in like a commander lens, but with like legacy, limited, cube in mind. But we're going to do some news today to start off.
Yeah, the bannings. What do you think of that?
Something big happened. I'm almost like kind of just saying that this is comparable to 9/11 almost. Like, where were you when you heard that these cards were banned? Like, this is insane. Insane.
So the exact cards were what? Mana Crypt,
Jewel Lotus.
Jewel Lotus,
Dockside.
Dockside, and Nadu.
Yep. Banned
All
in Commander.
banned in Commander.
They haven't made a banning in Commander in years.
Hull Breacher.
All Breacher was like banned right away, I guess. Oh, man. Lutri, yeah, that was kind of, these were like all in the beginning, like we never got to play with them.
Right.
But maybe Paradox Engine was like the last one we actually played with that like made a difference.
I know Avacyn was a late ban too, but that was
Avacyn? No, it's the other angel. The one.
Oh, Iona. Yeah.
Iona. Yeah. Avacyn's still playable. Man, no one saw this coming. No one.
I'm just like, at this point, they should have just banned Sol Ring if they don't want the fast mana. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
But they're like, Sol Ring's too iconic of a card. You can only play Commander.
That would make every single precon illegal from the box.
Yeah.
Which they should ban Sol Ring, though. Like, it's crazy how
it's just dumb, because if you're going to ban Mana Crypt, everyone's just going to play Mana Vault. Like,
yeah.
Like, if you're going to ban Mana Crypt, you might as well ban Mana Vault. You might as well ban all of them.
Yeah, Sol Ring should have be gone, but they're not going to do it because it's in pre-cons. They specifically say
Dockside doesn't phase me that much. Like, yeah, there's a bunch of stupid combos with it. It's like whatever. But yeah, like I own like 2 of them, so like it hurts. But
I own a lot of this.
I mean, it was only like $50. Like, it's not like it was.
Dockside was like $100 at this.
Was it really up to that much?
Wow. Yeah, a normal copy.
Like, Nadu is whatever. It's broken in every format.
Nadu I get because of the play patterns. It's like Paradox Engine, where you're just watching some guy play solitaire the whole time.
Yeah.
And like Nadu,
but
you're just...
Jewel Lotus was specifically made for Commander. That makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
It's like literally just a worthless card now. You play it in Cube, that's it. Commander Cube.
That is that you're one person out of a million people are going to need that.
Yeah. Like, that card's going to go from like $100 to like $2 probably, or $1.
Not even. I think it's going to zero. It's already at like, someone bought one for $14 in the past 2 hours.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. I've seen people like Lodestone, like, hey, you want to buy these, price negotiable, and then like other videos. Then they just went and they made a milkshake with the cards. Like, they just grinded them up. So
they're literally, all of this is trash. The only playable card, like Dockside, is not playable 1v1. Mana Crypt is playable, but it's banned in everything besides Vintage. Who plays Vintage?
Right.
Nobody owns Vintage cards. So it's not even legal in Legacy.
Right.
I don't know.
Dockside, I feel like they're gonna have to come out with a like CEDH ban list separate, and just everything's legal there, and this is what a couple cards that aren't.
Yeah,
just ban Power, and that's it.
I don't know what's going to happen to CEDH. Definitely, it's going to be a different thing. My favorite thing about CEDH is just like, it's the same format we're playing. I'm just going to try to win, like,
right.
Instead of playing a board game, which most people expect out of EDH, is like you're playing a board game with people and socializing. I don't know. Dockside really hurts for me because that's like the whole reason you play red. Red was like one of the worst colors in all of EDH, except you had Dockside. You have Underworld Breach and Jeskai Will are like the other two, but like
Hmm.
you played because there's Dockside. Now there's no Dockside. Red is going to be really bad again. Like you're just going to see blue black players all over. Thoracle is going to be all over.
For CEDH.
CEDH reasons. I play high powered commander. I wouldn't consider I'm CEDH, but still, I'm just going to see like that. Like red is going to be so bad now.
Well, we'll see. Maybe they'll print some other stupid red card.
I mean, yeah, they're going to print something else like a jeweled lotus.
Hmm.
I just find it kind of funny that they do it now, like not earlier. When
Well,
now
it's
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 like
it was the chase card, right? So like, oh, it was $100. Everyone's buying them up, and you want Commander Legends.
right,
And now,
Commander
if you
Masters had jeweled lotus,
right,
and then there was Mana Crypt in the dinosaur set, and now like
yep.
that's off the shelves. You can't really get that. Time to ban it now. I mean, what did you get in the festival in the box? You got a Commander Masters and a Ixalan pack, collector pack. Those are what do you chase for now?
Not Mana Crypt.
They already sold all their festival in the boxes, so
Oh,
let's ban the
Jesus.
cards now.
That's the dumb thing. The thing is the Wizards isn't in control of that.
I mean, I feel like RC actually wanted to ban these a long time ago, but Wizards was like, "Hold up, wait, let's clear off our
Maybe,
shelf
maybe,
first."
but I feel like they say that the RC has complete control over it, not anything to do with Wizards.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll
I'm sure
see.
they still have to talk, and there might have been a little bit of influence. Like, hold up, we have a chase card in the dinosaur set. Wait till that rotates.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a quinky dink. You know, it kind of lined up a little too well there.
I don't know. I personally don't like it. I think we should just like there should be less bans in Commander.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
I mean, I guess whatever. So, I mean, it saves people having that didn't have it going to buy it. I guess people
Rest
that
in,
did are pissed, but
rest in peace to all those people who accidentally pulled it or actually pulled it. Like,
yeah.
rip. Sorry,
I mean,
brother.
it's not so bad if you pulled it though, compared to if you just went out and spent $200 on it. Right?
Hmm. I looked at TCG Player and someone just spent like two people bought a Mana Crypt last night for $200.
Oof, it's horrible.
Rest in peace to those people. It's still in the mail for them.
Yeah, jeez.
Uh,
Well, that's that. Don't care about that.
let's
Don't like that.
talk about some good stuff.
But so now we're gonna do a little finance game here. We're gonna see if Josh can guess the top five most expensive cards of Chronicles.
Oh man, isn't this a
So
reprint set?
yeah, it was like a reprint set. It was basically a reprint of Legends, but white border.
Yeah, there is some
There's
Arabian
a
Nights.
yeah, there was some not Legends too in there.
It was like a mixture of like all these sets, but they didn't
Yeah,
even reprint
Antiquities,
the cards.
Arabian Nights was in it too. Some cards.
So it's like, who was the set for when they came out at this time? Like, okay, there's going to be Legends cards
Well,
and
this
Arabian
is
Nights
actually
cards.
the set that basically made him think of doing the reserve list because people went out and bought all these Legends that were really expensive. And they
Mhm.
reprinted a lot of them in Chronicles, and people were like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa!"
True.
And threw a
Yeah.
fit, and then they started coming out with, "Okay, we'll do a reserve list thing where we're not going to reprint certain cards."
Yeah. The story I hear from like everybody is like people who first started with Magic, what time did they quit? It's usually around Chronicles and Homelands. When those two sets came out, they kind of stopped playing.
Hmm.
All right. Chronicles, white border. Still had this old set symbol.
Yeah, it had the original set symbol of whatever it
Okay.
was on it, just as white border.
So I need the top five most
Yep,
expensive cards.
yep,
City of Brass is one of them.
yep. That's the most expensive, $20.
Blood Moon is
That's
another
the
one.
third most.
What else is in
It's nine
Chronicles?
bucks.
Nothing's in Chronicles. Ashnod's Altar?
Yep, that's the fourth.
Wow. Okay. What else is in Chronicles though?
Got two left.
Are they like dual lands? Not
No,
like the original dual lands, but like
no.
Brushlandery.
I usually skip the duels in Power if they were in it anyway.
Not like yeah, but not the OG. Like I don't know, a pain land. Like
No,
last time, Ice Age had some pain lands in there. Um, what's in Chronicles? All right, I might need a little help. Is Sylvan Library in there?
no.
Okay, I might.
It's one that just got reprinted in a secret lair.
There's so many secret layers. Like which one? The Ghostbusters one? Are we talking about?
It's a world enchantment.
The Crossroads, Concord.
Yeah, Concordant Crossroads is number two.
Okay,
It was $20.
all right.
And then for fifth, there's three cards tied. One of them is a format.
A format? What do you mean? Brawl. I don't.
One of them's a dragon. One of them's a demon thing.
Sheevan Dragon is in Chronicles?
No,
No.
no, the OG dragon. Come on, he's a legend.
Oh, it was the dragons. Okay, Nico Bolas.
Yeah, Nico Bolas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all of those dragons were reprinted. Okay, okay.
And then the ones tied with Nico Bolas is Hell's Caretaker
Okay, I wouldn't have gotten that.
and Dan. That's the one where I said it's a format.
Yeah, that's okay. That's why it's expensive. Everyone's needs 6 copies, 8 copies of Dan. That's right.
I mean, it's only $2.50. So like the fifth most expensive card in Chronicles is $2.50, and that's three cards tied.
Oh man, if you were living in this time though, when Chronicles came out, it's just like, why would you be buying?
Ashnod's Altar was 7, Blood Moon 9, Crossroads 20, and City Brass 20.
Okay, I mean, I got the two most important ones. Dang, I feel bad for people who opened up Chronicles.
Back then, they were good cards.
Why wouldn't you just open up a Legends pack if that was still on the shelves? You see,
Well, Legends was probably more expensive.
Yeah,
I think
but
Chronicles was like a reprint, intentional reprint set, so it was cheaper.
I don't know.
But still, yeah. All right, so now we got the set review for Duskmourn.
Yeah, we'll be starting off with white. We'll start off with the Reluctant Role Model. He's 1 in a white for a 2/2 Human Survivor. Survivor are these new creature types that kind of trigger at beginning of second main phase if they're tapped. So this is survival. Beginning of your second main phase, if a Reluctant Role Model is tapped, put a flying, lifelink, or +1/+1 counter on it. I like how you can keep reusing the +1/+1 counter, of course. Reluctant Role Model, or if another creature you control dies, if it had counters on it, put those counters on up to 1 target creature. Okay, so it's a modular guy, but can keep getting bigger. What I like about survival is that there's definitely no vehicles in this set, but just being able to tap them any other way, say crew with a vehicle.
There actually is one or two vehicles in this set.
I haven't looked at too much. That would be.
I got to play with it during early access, and I played against someone who had the survival deck, and they got like the only vehicle in the set, and just kept crewing their stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Even if a vehicle has like crew 1, you can tap all your survivors. They can all be pilots for the deck. So that's a really cool combo you want to look out for when you're doing this sort of thing. My favorite card, Earthcraft, would be a good one. Reserve list, by the way.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot better in the commander sense when you could build around it and just use stuff that taps your own creatures.
Yeah, yeah. I
like
how
the elf things, like tap a creature, untap a creature, stuff like that.
Human's a good kindred type.
Yeah, it's not legendary, so it can't be your commander. So it's for the 99 or something.
No, but being the modular thing and all types of counters. So the flying counter, the lifelink counter is going to go on something.
If you play any other counters on it, they'll go out on there too.
Could there be
like this could be good? Actually, just be good in the like +1/+1 counter deck, right? Because that second ability triggers on any creature that dies.
Right. Yeah, yeah. The creatures that are dying, I didn't see that right away. That's actually really interesting. Other creatures that have counters on it when
Yeah.
they die.
So if you're just playing like the 1/1 counter dot deck,
That's really good. That's almost like the no, what's the 1 mana
the
Ozilek?
Whatever,
Ozilisk or something like that.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's very similar. Like that seems really good actually.
It's a 2/2 creature that if you have a way to tap it, you're going to get more counters. So we thought of it, and you can get flying and lifelink counters on your stuff, which is cool. Especially if you have like the land that moves a counter, you can just keep giving this thing lifelink or flying and moving the counter around.
Mm-hmm.
What is it, nesting grounds or something that moves counters?
It wouldn't trigger off of like an undying thing, right? If an undying had a +1/+1 counter on it, if it dies, you move those counters, but it's still checked. It had a +1/+1 counter it, so the undying trigger doesn't go on the stack.
Right, but you do get to put the 1/1 on something.
But you get the 1/1. Yeah, it doesn't make like an infinite combo or anything. Okay, still think it's really good in those +1/+1 counters.
Yeah, it seems good. Anyway. Next up, we got Enduring Innocence. It is 1 white white for a 2/1 enchantment creature, Sheep Glimmer. So Glimmer matters for some cards in this set. There's a couple cards that are like destroy this only if they don't have a Glimmer, or it gets this ability if they don't have a Glimmer. So it's a 2/1 lifelink enchantment creature. Whenever one or more other creatures you control with power 2 or less enter, you draw a card, but this triggers only once each turn. And when it dies, if it was a creature, you get to bring it back under its owner's control just as an enchantment with that ability that you get to draw a card once a turn.
Yeah, that's what all the glimmers do, is that they start off as a creature, and then if they die, they just turn into an enchantment,
Yeah.
which sticks around for a while. Glimmers are pretty important in the story. I don't think you've read the story yet, but
No.
they're kind of like, when you're in Duskmourn, right, the fear gets to you, and that's how Valgavoth finds you, is through fear. And
Okay.
Glimmers is like, I don't know if you've watched Harry Potter. It's the deer or whatever.
Yeah,
Like
the
it's
Patronus or whatever.
it's your hope, your happiness. So
Gotcha.
what brings you the most happiness is that it would be like this sheep is your glimmer that you try to follow, and it will get you out of Duskmourn.
Oh, okay. It's kind of cool. I mean, I like it. It's a 3 mana 2/1. I mean, it's better than what's the other rare that's just 3 mana for like the same thing that whenever a creature enters, you draw a card with power 2 or less.
Welcoming Vampire.
That one, but there's also the one that's not legendary. You can infinite trigger it. It's like Mentor the Meek or something.
Oh, that you have to pay one.
Yeah. And it's way better than that.
Yeah, he got phased out. There's an enchantment.
I mean, Welcoming Vampire too. This is almost as good as that. It doesn't have flying, but it has lifelink.
The thing that it's better than is that if it dies,
if it dies, you get it back.
You have to double tap this thing, so that might make it way better.
Unless they just have like exiled enchantment, but
I mean, yeah. It having that enchantment clause is a downside in the beginning.
Yeah,
but you have to double tap it, which is pretty crazy. Double white does hurt a little bit, but this is really more of a commander card. Like I would say, if we go back to the reluctant role model, that's could be like a cube card where like if you stick that early and just snowball away with it, it could be good. This is not going to be like I don't think it's going to be in 60 cards. This is definitely a build around commander.
I mean, it is good in the draft archetype because there's an archetype of power 2 or less matters.
Right.
But
yeah. Limited. I'm going to say it. All these cards are going to probably be pretty good limited. But yeah, this is definitely that build around. If you see this pack one, pick one. I'm going to try to get creatures with power 2 or less.
It seems interesting.
Yeah, I
think it's a good card.
I'm down to try it out just because you have to double tap it over like Welcoming Vampire or the other just enchantment.
Right.
It seems probably better than those. So. All right, we'll move on to Split Up. One white for a sorcery. Choose one. Destroy all tapped creatures or destroy all untapped creatures. This is pretty insane.
I'm gonna destroy all tapped creatures after I sleep you.
After you sleep them, or even on your turn, like you're playing a normal commander deck, everyone's playing battle cruiser. They swing at Timmy. This guy swings
Yeah.
at Tommy. I'm going to untap my people. I play this, destroy all your tapped creatures. All mine are untapped, and then I
Right.
swing on in.
Yep.
Is this better than Wrath of God, which is going to be reprinted in Foundations? This
I don't
next
think it is because you can't hit all.
can't hit all. I guess those
Like
pesky like
there's gonna be something untapped on their board or something tapped
yeah,
on their board.
they're not going to attack in with their shield Drid or something.
I mean, if you have other cards, this is better. Like if you could combo better, like because you could be like, all right, sleep all opponents' creatures, like or like creatures can't attack.
Yeah.
Then you just blow up all untapped creatures for 3. Like
I guess you're playing 2 cards though, when like you could be
right,
playing those one-sided board wipes that are like 7 mana in black or something like that.
yeah, like 5 to 7 mana somewhere in there.
Is that being so expensive, but 1 card way better than a 2-card combo? Because you're spending 2 cards? I don't know.
I don't know because you can make this one sided.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely this is more versatile because like you can like I said you can just well all their good stuff's tapped. I'll just blow it up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like yeah, you don't hit everything, but I mean you're at least I mean especially commander you're gonna get at least a 3 for 1 on this probably.
Yeah. Yeah. It's cheap. It's 3 mana. That's cheap, dude. I haven't seen that in ever.
That's why I think it's good. The other 3 mana kill spell makes you skip your next turn basically because your lands don't untap.
Yep. That was an Amoket. Is there like Slay of the Mighty or something that's like you choose power 4?
That's
Everyone
four.
doesn't.
I think that's four
That's
mana.
4 mana still. Okay. This 3 mana is not that's pretty good.
Yeah, like this is a good one. It's a good board wipe or a good
I mean,
removal spell.
I do remember I'm kind of looking ahead.
This is kind of like I'd be in the borderline where would I just play this as a removal spell in my deck, or would I put this in place of the board wipe?
Right.
Because I like to run about 2 board wipes in every deck at least.
If we're talking about those combos of like crewing a vehicle, you tap out everything. If
Yeah,
you really need to kill that Urza or Shieldred or whatever's being untapped, you tap out or you convoke all your creatures or do some tap out your creatures, destroy all untapped.
yeah.
I guess that's still a 2-card combo, as I keep saying.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if you have the combos, like this is
I mean,
probably
if you're in a vehicle's deck, you're gonna have crew, right? So this might
yeah.
be good in the blue white vehicles deck because you could just crew all your stuff and then play
You know
this.
when you're untapped or tapped, you get to
Right.
control that. So interesting. It's going to be niche, but it's going to be really strong in those. So it's not going to be like the Bank Buster card, but
Right.
I think it's going to be strong in those certain decks.
I like it. I'll play it. All right. Next up, we got Toby, the Beastie Befriender. He is 2 and a white for a 1/1 legendary creature human wizard. When he enters, create a 4/4 white beast creature token with this creature can't attack or block alone. And as long as you control 4 or more creature tokens, all creature tokens you control have flying.
Wow. Okay.
It's not even a legendary thing, so if you can keep flickering this, you can just make a bunch of 4/4s.
I like that.
And then when you get 4 of them, they all have flying.
Yeah, it's just a beast creature token.
Yeah. I mean, I like it as it can be a commander too.
So
On a white flicker token deck.
this is 3 mana.
Yeah,
That's
for
pretty
a
insane.
1/1 and a 4/4.
Blade Splicer is a good aggro card. For 3 mana, you get a 1/1 and a 3/3 body.
Well, you get a 3/3 first strike, but yeah.
First striker. Yeah.
This is you get a 4/4 and a 1/1. And later
Yeah.
you can make them have flying.
Can't attack block alone means you can't like
Right. I mean, if you flicker this, you get a second one. You just attack with 2 of them. Doesn't matter.
yeah. So it needs to be on the aggro side because if you wanted to like block with like you're playing with Blade Splicer, you block with a 3/3 first strike. That's pretty good. If you're blocking with Toby and the Beastie, you have to put Toby in there, and Toby's going to die. Then your Beastie can't do anything without another card, so that hurts it.
Yeah, but you could play there's like the 2 mana make a couple 1/1s, and then there's like 3 mana make a couple 1/1
Yeah,
flyers, and then
yeah.
like if you just did all token things and then you play this on like turn 3 or 4, and you have a 4/4 and a 1/1, and all your stuff is flying.
Definitely.
Like that seems
That
good.
has big upside. I was thinking more of like a standalone card for Cube again, but like, yeah, if you are in the token deck and Commander or something like this, giving
Yeah,
yourself,
I mean, in Cube you could play. You would just play it in like a flicker based strategy.
yeah, you
You just
really need.
keep flickering this, and then you'd probably play Blade Splicer and other ETB stuff, and then
Mm-hmm.
like that seems like a decent Cube deck too.
Yeah, I mean it's decent. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to feel the upsides and downsides of it. I like how the legendary creature does have like it's a payoff for flicker stuff.
Yeah,
So you can run a lot of flicker stuffs in a commander deck if this is the helm of your deck.
yeah.
You are in mono white.
I mean,
Sorry.
Conjurer's Clause is going to give you a 4/4 every turn.
Yeah. Teleportation Circle is a new
Yeah.
white enchantment. I mean, from Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know how new that is, but it's Conjurer's Closet in
A
white.
couple years now, I think. But yeah,
Yeah. Sets are flying by like these moths around me.
yeah.
All
Well,
right.
Toby's good.
Yeah. Flying is actually super huge. It only gives your tokens it, but like if you're building that deck, like that should
Right. I
play.
mean, you could also play Intangible Virtue. Who's only 2 mana. Like, you could have a really low curve token deck in it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely sick. We'll move on to the vehicle.
There's that. Yeah, there's a green one too. So I guess there's a couple vehicles in the set.
All right, the UFO, unidentified hover ship. UFH. One white for a 2/2 artifact vehicle with flying. When unidentified hover ship enters, exile up to one target creature with toughness 5 or less. Ooh, hits those Shieldreds.
Mm-hmm.
When unidentified hover ship leaves the battlefield, the exiled card's owner manifests dread and has
Which
crew
is
one.
which is manifest, but you pick one of the top two. You know,
Look at the top 2 cards and pick one of them. The other one goes to bottom or graveyard.
Graveyard.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be delirium later on in this set.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, Manifest Dreading is really good in this set.
yeah.
It's just like a better version of Manifest.
Yeah.
And then it has Crew 1.
Yeah. So like we were saying, this is going to be a huge pickup for those survivor cards because you can just crew all day with if you have bad attacks, you
Yep.
can just keep crewing and accumulate whatever you need. And this is removal spell. It's almost like it's reminding me of Core Apparition, Skyclave Apparition.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. I played with this early access. It was solid. It removed basically any of their big bombs because most of them had toughness 5 or less.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be huge. You have to
Yeah,
be.
you have to be really huge to not. And then they never killed this, so it was basically just like an O-ring. But if they do kill it, it's like whatever. You get a 2/2 back.
I mean, it's really hard to kill if you're not actually attacking with it. Like, vehicles are hard to kill if they're not.
If they're playing green, there is a lot of like incidental, just random hit artifacts. But
Sure. Yep. And limited for sure. All right. In Commander,
I think it's good.
really, I don't know. I think you have to be in the flicker area for Commander, or else then it's just
Well, why would you want to flicker it? Because they keep manifesting.
yeah. But you get rid of things. You get rid of creatures only. Okay. Skyclave Apparition gets rid of more than just creatures.
Right.
That's why it's really good. So I don't know.
Look, this is more like an O-ring with upside. I feel. Well, O-ring on a creature.
Yeah.
It's like what's the 3 mana one that it leaves till it leaves? Like Banisher Priest or something. It's kind of like that.
Banisher Priest, yeah. But have you seen Banisher Priest or O-Ring in years? I have not.
Commander, you might see it.
No, I have not seen those cards in years.
I'm
So
gonna
I
play
don't.
it against you now, just so you see
Sure.
it.
I don't know. I think it's going to be a bomb and limited, but
Yeah,
other
it's medium outside of that. But.
yeah, yeah, but going to be really good and limited for your survivor deck.
Next up, we got Leyline of Hope, which is a new leyline. 2 white for an enchantment. It's in your opening hand. You begin the game with it in play, just like the other leylines. If you gain life, you gain that much life plus 1. And if you have at least 7 life more than your starting life total, creatures you control get +2/+2.
Ooh.
So this is actually really hard to do in limited.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of life gain stuff unless you're black-white, and even then it's like you
Oh,
might get it once or twice.
this is for standard. After all that Bloomborough life gain with bats,
Yeah.
this seems.
Or a life gain commander deck like Oloro or something. You're just
Mm-hmm.
going to easily get this.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if Allura would play it just because you don't need the anthem. There's other ways to really get the if you gain life, gain that much +1 instead. But I think this is going to be probably a push standard card, my opinion.
Yeah, could be.
Just
I mean,
thinking about
all your creatures getting +2/+2 is pretty strong.
right, yeah. But just think about the bats for me. I don't know. It just seems like it's going to combine really well.
Yeah.
You got police out there.
I think it's Fire Truck.
Oh yeah,
Probably both.
yep. They got to get both out there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. I would check this out in standard. I don't know about anywhere else. I don't really see it. It's hard to run ley lines in Commander. I don't know.
I don't know. I've played with a few of them. This one seemed okay, like in the early access. Leyline of the Void totally hosed me in the game, so Leyline of the
Oh yeah.
Void is good in this set.
Oh yeah. Ley Light of the Void is just good everywhere.
It shuts off die triggers.
It's so good. So good. Little disappointed that Black didn't get a new ley line though, but
No, it's just reprint.
they've always reprinted that one. They got it right the first time.
Mm-hmm.
We're a bit midway. We're going to move on to our segment here, break up our pattern of reviews. I'm going to talk about a jank combo now. Here's a new
Josh's
green.
Jake combo.
Yes. Here's a new green card from Duskmourn, the Hedge Shredder. It's the other vehicle. Ooh. 2 green for a 5/5 vehicle. Whenever it attacks, you may mill 2 cards, has crew 1. But the most important part for my combo, whenever 1 or more land cards are put into your graveyard from your library, put them into the battlefield tapped. Now, we're going to use an old friend of ours, the Hedron Crab. Hedron Crab is 1 blue or 0/2, has landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, target player puts the top 3 or mills 3. You milled 1. So, right. You start off with your land for a turn. Hedron Crab mills you 3. Hopefully a land hits from the Head Shredder. Head Shredder says, oh, there's a land card from there. Puts it on the battlefield. Well, that activates Landfall from Hedron Crab. Mill yourself another 3. Hopefully find the land. And then put it on the battlefield. And keep looping over and over to mill your entire deck and have so many lands. Yes.
And then what? How do you win? Thassa's Oracle?
You win by untapping next turn. Hopefully don't mill out your entire deck. And you have so many lands.
That's silly.
Heck yeah. Head Shredder would be awesome in Sidisi, by the way. Going to put
My
that.
jank card this week is only kind of jank, but we'll see here. So it's called Renowned Weaponsmith. It's 1 in a blue, or my crazy card, I mean. It's 1 in a blue for Renowned Weaponsmith. It's a 1/3 human artificer. It has tap, add 2 colorless mana, spend this only to cast artifacts or activate abilities of artifacts. Or you could pay a blue and tap it, search your library for Heart Piercer Bowl or Vial of Dragonfire, reveal it and put it to your hand, then shuffle. Now, what makes this crazy is when this card was originally printed, Vial of Dragonfire did not exist yet.
Oh man, what the heck are these
The
cards?
Vial of Dragonfire was put in the next set 2 months later.
Wow.
And both of them are like common garbage cards. Like,
Yeah, Vial is a 2-mana artifact. Pay 2, sack it, deal 2.
yeah, and the other one's like I think you could tap the ping or something.
Heart Piercer Bow.
Yeah, whenever a creature attacks, it pings something.
Yeah, that's crazy that the card that never came out before you can search for it. That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, and they reprinted it again in like the Commander set. But,
Yeah, looks like a lot. Jumpstart, M20.
but in when that came out in Fate Reforged, you could only search for one card originally, and then in the next set, Dragons of Secure, they were able to search for both.
Wow, that is crazy. Decent card where blue's getting these mana dorks that can only spend an artifact, spells, or activate abilities of artifacts, or activate normal abilities. Some of them are doing so pretty common, but I like that. That's awesome. All right, we'll move back to our review. Ghostly Dancers. 3 white for a 2/5 flying spirit. When Ghostly Dancers enters, return an enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand, or unlock a locked door from a room you control. Also has Eerie. Whenever an enchantment you control enters, and whenever you fully unlock a room, create a 3/1 spirit creature token with flying.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, payoff for your room deck. We haven't gotten to rooms, but that's another new mechanic here. Where
Yeah,
just
it's like a double-sided card that you can play one of the sides and it comes in unlocked and you get the effect and you can unlock the other side.
I viewed it's like a class. We just saw classes in Bloomborough.
Right. But instead of
So
like leveling up, you just unlock the other half.
and you choose which one to be level 1, I guess.
But I mean, so enchantment decks in Commander, right? Like whenever you play enchantment, get a 3/1 flyer. Seems good.
Is this the first time we have like an enchantress that makes a token?
No, there's a few out there.
There is. All I remember is draw cards. That's all I play in my commander deck. So
Yeah, there's a lot of draw cards. I think there's definitely one that makes 2/2s, Pegasus.
oh yeah, the Pegasus. Yeah, I
And then
did
there's
try
one
that
that
out.
like turns your enchantments into creatures.
Okay. Yeah, I did try that one out. I don't. When you're playing Enchantress, you don't really care about incidental creatures. I guess it was my problem. It's like you're playing auras. The way I play it, I guess, is I do auras and stuff. So I don't care about going wide. I don't care about creatures. So I don't know.
I mean, some of the jump with.
Yeah, this is recursion, and maybe like the token's just incidental.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's kind of expensive. This is in a commander lens. This
I
is
mean,
definitely.
if you have this out, and then the next turn you go like ethereal armor and a bunch of cheap auras, even like you could make like 4 or 5 3/1s.
Yeah.
Which seems kind of crazy.
Yeah, it seems okay. In Commander. Limited, this is definitely a payoff for the room decks.
Yeah. The weird thing though is a lot of the good rooms are in red and blue.
Oh, interesting.
You could easily splash with there's 2 sets of duels, so the rare
Yeah,
ones and the
2
common
sets
ones.
of duels. There's common duels, right?
Yeah. Commons and then the rare ones, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. This is definitely not going to be an expensive card, so this is going to be very niche, and in those niche decks for
Yeah,
Commander.
it's pre-selling for 50 cents, so
Yeah. Not
all
that
right.
good.
Next up we got the Wandering Rescuer. It is 3 white for a 3/4 legendary creature, human samurai noble with flash. It also has convoke. It also has double strike, and it also gives tapped creatures you control hexproof.
I think that design is so chef's kiss. other tapped creatures you have hexproof, and it has flash convoke. That's so awesome. Someone plays a kill spell on a different creature of yours that's untapped. You flash this in by tapping that creature to convoke the Wandering Rescuer, and you save it because it's tapped and has hexproof, so that kill spell just fizzles out.
Yep.
It's like the Wandering Rescuer came in and saved like the day. This is such a cool design, dude. Like, it is so that's so awesome. That just tells a story. That's
You
just
could also play it for your command zone with Flash
that's pretty crazy.
and Convoke.
Yeah, convoke in the command zone seems kind of broken. Uh-oh. That's pretty broken, right?
I mean, you can get around commander tax by just tapping extra creatures.
Tapping an extra 2 creatures, yeah. It's still commander text. It's
I mean,
not
it's still only like it's a 3/4 double strike. So it's not like the strongest commander, but
yeah.
it's still pretty cool.
Yeah. I don't know. This is definitely going to be really good in white weenies, like standard. Maybe even could be like a modern. I don't know.
That might be a little too expensive for modern unless you're playing tokens.
Yeah. It's a human. I know
Yeah.
humans were good at one point. I don't know. The flavor of this card is just so good to me that I love it.
I definitely think it's cool. Like Flash, Convoke, Double Strike, give yourself hexproof. Like they go to kill one of your things, you flash it in.
Wandering Rescuer. So sick. The Wanderer's kind of cool now that I'm listening to the story. I'm listening with the audio books that Wizards are putting out on their own website. If you want to listen to them, but she's actually kind of cool. I don't know. Yeah, probably. Sad to say, it's not going to be like super strong in like modern or anything, or even commander. But it's just it just tells that story.
Yeah, I think it'll be good in standard. Like the white weenie deck is already good. So
yeah, definitely at least 1 to 2 copies. Maybe not 4, but especially because it's legendary too. All right, we'll move on to a room. Our first one. First side is for 3 and a white. The Dazzling Theater has creature spells you cast have convoke. That's pretty good. All right. The next side of the room is the prop room. 2 and a white. Untap each creature you control during each other player's untap step. That's pretty good too.
So what do you play first? Are you playing the Dazzling Theater first or the prop room first? Just untap your stuff and then later you get
Depends on where you're at. If you have creatures, the untap side. If you don't have creatures yet, the Dazzling Theater side. So you can convoke out those creatures. But if you already have like a Llanowar Elf and something else, like Llanowar Elf's being reprinted in Standard and Foundations coming up. So you like turn 1 Llanowar Elf, turn 2 prop room.
Yeah. Could be good. I mean, it seems solid.
Yeah, I like all of that.
And you start a creature-based deck.
All your creatures have convoke? That's pretty...
Creature spells have convoke, yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
It is pretty good, especially for white. It's kind of like mini ramp, pseudo ramp for white.
Yeah. All of your creatures have convoked. Have we ever seen that? I think that's
there might. I think there's another card that like another creature that gives other creatures convoke, but it's usually just killed on sight, whatever it is.
Yeah, being an enchantment, I always say it's the hardest permanent to kill, besides lands nowadays. Like you don't touch those, not in 2024. But enchantments are like the hardest permanent to touch, I think.
And artifacts.
Artifacts are easier. Everyone's running Vandablast and Commander.
I guess, yeah. In Commander, a lot of people run more Artifact Hate than Enchantment.
Mm-hmm. You know, everyone's back into Soul Ring. They're not banning that one.
All right, the next card is one of these overlords of stuff that are just stupid good, these avatars.
Oh, God. They look so good to reanimate.
They're just stupid good here. So this one is 5 white, Trust me, you'll never play it for that. Is a 6/6 enchantment creature avatar horror. It has impeding 2 white white, which means it enters just as an enchantment. And then it has 4 time counters on it. And when you remove a time counter at your end step, and when the last one's removed, it turns into a creature. So it says when it enters or attacks, you make 2/2/1 white flying insect creature tokens. So you could just 4 mana, I get 2/2/1 flyers, and then wait 4 turns, basically 3 because it counts the turn you play it, and then you have a 6/6 that can attack, do that. Or if you happen to be on turn 7 when you draw it, you just it's
Beginning
absurd.
of your
It's like a
end step.
Grave Titan. Yeah, you
Why
move the
is it
time counter
not-
on your end step.
Why is it not? What?
Yep, and it is an enchantment before that.
Oh,
So they can only get rid of it if they have enchantment removal before that.
yeah.
And if you have something like clock spinning, where you can remove time counters, it works on this, or the like Vampire Hex Mage, where you can remove counters because it's in play as a permanent. You can remove counters from it, and that just is 6/6 right then.
Proliferate is just adding to, right? Not
Yeah,
subtracting.
you can't subtract that.
Okay. Man, this seems
It's
really
absurd. If you reanimate it, you just have a 6/6.
Yeah,
Because you basically have a Grave Titan that costs 7,
Yeah.
but it's white.
I think all of these for reanimating is just insane.
Yeah.
This is better than Grave Titan, yeah.
Well, the black one is only 2 DP, so like the black one's absurd.
Oh my god.
Like I played with the black one. Every time I played it, I won.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Right now we're on
The white one I lost to whenever I saw it come down in the early access. Like it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Just getting 2/1 flyers. 2/2/1 flyers right at the bat is gonna basically those will usually let you stay alive for the 3 turns till this comes in. You keep getting more of them. So
This is Grave Titan, but better.
And if you have that other rare and you have Convoke, you could Convoke. Just pay the 7.
Insane. I think impending is really, really good, especially maybe in like a CEDH sense, because you just want to get the effect. Depends on what the effects are right now. But like playing a cheaper version of something just to get that effect right away, and then maybe later
because like you would play a card that just says 4 mana, get 2/1 flyers. Like that's a decent card.
Yeah.
And then in 4 turns it just becomes absurdly good. So you have like a Grave Titan that makes flyers.
Yeah. So good. All of these overlords too, the artwork is just insane. That it's just they're like part of the background, but they're also a monster. The more you look at it, it's like, are they the background or is it like a monster? Like his left arm is still like the wood, but it's his arm. But you don't. It's so eerie.
It's like behind the wood. Yeah.
It's like you're going crazy.
Yep. Well, that's why it's Avatar horror.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, scary stuff. Scary stuff. Yeah, this is going to be a strong one. Move on to our last white card of the day. It's another room. The first part of the room is the Doll Maker's Shop for 1 and a white enchantment. Whenever 1 or more non-toy creatures you control attack a player, create a 1/1 white toy artifact creature token. Okay, creates artifacts. And then the other side, Porcelain Gallery. Porcelain, yes. 4 white. For creatures you control have base power and toughness, each equal to the number of creatures you control. All creatures you control.
Yeah, so all your 1/1s become like 9/9s if you have 9 creatures.
Yeah. That's really good too. Okay, it's a mythic. So
yeah, you definitely play the Doll Maker Shop first, and you just keep swinging. I mean, you can it's 1 or more, so you have to swing at 3 different players to get 3 of them around. But.
Yeah, but still early on, if you start with a 1-drop, early survivor, hopefully, and then play this for 2 and limit.
You just keep making tokens, and then eventually when it's good for you to make it to attack, you just activate the Porcelain Gallery.
Your 1-drop survivors building up too. Yeah, this could snowball really fast. I love also in these room enchantment artwork, there are 2 different rooms, so there's a wall in between the card, and then you can see what's filled into the wall. And this one is a little inside the walls. You don't want to know what's inside the walls. So,
Yeah, I mean some of them are kind of like one big thing, but
yeah,
like
like the last.
there's a couple of the like common ones I've noticed or uncommon ones where like the artwork it's still a little bit of a wall, but it looks like it's one big picture still, which is kind of
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah, yeah. This time you can
Like they
actually.
definitely go together, right? Like you have the little doll, and then you have all the porcelain doll heads in the other room. So
Yeah. Yeah, definitely like they go together, but this has that wall in between. There's a little arm creepy people hiding in the walls.
yeah, the map that they do for Arena is actually pretty cool too. You can click on a bunch of different stuff.
I'll have to check that out.
So
Yeah. Actually,
they're gonna have the eyeball plants are there, and you can click on the eyeballs and then they hide, and you can like click on the guys spying on you and they hide, and the TVs turn on and off.
I'm super hyped for this set. I don't know. This seems really sick. It's definitely a theme.
It's
I'm
definitely played out
happy
pretty
for it.
well. I haven't gotten to play all the decks, but the ones I did play in early access, I did pretty well with. So
Yeah. I just think the theming of it is just out of the park awesome. I mean, I did like Bloomborough. It was nice and cute and awesome, but I did not like Outlaws. It's just like let's put cowboy hats on everything.
right,
And
yeah,
then the
this
one
is more
before that
based
is
off like horror movies, like
yeah,
I
this
mean,
is actually
there's like the uncommon, the Altonac or whatever,
Mhm.
and then you have the say its name card, and it's like that's basically like Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Like you just
Yeah,
play
the
say it
callbacks
3 times.
are okay in my opinion. I like the Duskmourn vibe, like the whole story. They made a great story. You should guys should listen to the story of this one. It's super sick. I don't know. I'm it's definitely different than what we were doing before. Like before that it was just like we're playing Clue on Ravnica and
Right.
like this has its own identity and feel and I don't know. I'm excited.
All right. Well, if you like any of these cards, make sure you pick them up using our TCG Player affiliate link, which can be found in the show notes and on our website, mtgplace.net.
Yeah, and you can help to support our show at patreon.com. We have different tiers of involvement that give you different perks. Check those out. Also, if you want to just come and talk to us, hang out with us, there's a Discord ready there, and we're talking about all the new bands right now in there. So come talk to us.
Yeah, and don't forget to like and subscribe to be notified of all our videos and podcasts when they're released. Thanks for listening. Bye, everybody.
Peace.